Alright, here it is. Xenoblade 2 review. Now, I have completed the game, but I have not done grinding min-max super boss stuff yet. But I'm getting there. And this is no spoilers, mostly. Except for Pyra's Mithra, but it's not a spoiler, that was in a trailer. That happens real early in the game, too. Anyway, yes. Speaking of early game, let's start with that. Alright. So early game, the story is pretty slow. And it's full of stupid ass anime tropes. Which, ironically, I despise them. Because they're just annoying and out of place. Thankfully, the more you get into the game, the less those happen. So, this game literally just progressively gets better. Like, it's very strange. I'm not saying the beginning is like awful garbage, but certainly not as good as it gets later on. Yeah. Story is pretty typical JRPG stuff too. Apparently it's pretty similar to Xenogears. I never played Xenogears, so I'll just have to take those words for them. The combat in the early game is pretty slow as well. The further you get into the game, the more, like, fluid everything becomes. You get more abilities, you get faster abilities, you get more damage, everything just meshes better the further you get in. So early game combat takes forever, even killing just a weak little enemy. Especially when you don't have any party members. Hoo boy! When you're just bashing on something with just Rex, it is awful. Just a small little guy can take you like a minute to kill. Maybe even longer. But, once again, that gets better the further you get in. Because eventually you'll get driver combos, blade combos, art canceling. Your arts will be stronger, your blades will be stronger, you'll get better aux cores for your blade, and such and so forth, whatever. Which brings to the point of the pacing. Yeah, this might seem a little structured this time, huh? Yeah, I've got a nice little fine bullet point in front of me to establish these things that I need to talk about in no particular order. But anyway, yeah, the pacing is, well, it's just like the gameplay. Starts off real slow, then all of a sudden it ramps the hell up, and by the end of it, you're like, huh, is that it? That's strange. That was just getting good, though. Disgusting. But, yeah. Real slow at the beginning. Gets faster. Just gonna... yeah. There we go. Alright. Yeah, pacing... very strange. I have not played Xenoblade 1 or Xenoblade X. I'm not sure if the pacing is any different in those games, but the pacing is very much a ramp in this one. I'd say you're going uphill until about, like, chapter... well, no. You're going uphill until, like, chapter 4. Then it goes downhill a bit, and then it goes uphill a bit, then, like, chapter 7-ish. It just goes... whoa, wait. way down, like a stock market crash. It's crazy. Shit just turns the hell up. You don't even know what's going on. You're not even sure if you're playing the same game anymore. It's nuts. But with the pacing comes another strange phenomenon, which gameplay-wise I understand. Story-wise, it's pretty disgusting. You can literally just fast travel whenever. So, you could be in this place that you're supposed to be trapped in until you, like, clear it. No, you just fast travel the hell out of there, go back to your home base, whatever. It's nothing. Oh no, my party member is trapped. Hold on, I gotta go buy some cabbages for my waifu real quick. Hold up. Yeah, fast traveling whenever, wherever. I think there should have been at least like 1 or 2 times where they disabled it. And I see why they had to have it, since in this game everything is not connected. It's like islands and shit. But I mean, they could have had like fast travel boats or something, I don't know. And just disable fast travel when you absolutely positively shouldn't be able to. But then you'd miss out on a lot, I guess. But that's more just a problem with the whole separate titans and whatnot. What is this? Constant dipping? Oh no, that's just stuff I already talked about. Alright, yes. But the core of this is that this is a JRPG. To its core. This is a freaking JRPG. This feels like a classic JRPG. Where everything takes forever. It feels super grindy if you want. Alright, well, hold on. Because you can make this game. This game could be not grindy. If you just want to go through it. But me, I'm a little bit autistic, so I have to grind for some things. Like, every blade has its own affinity chart, and when you complete the affinity charts, that makes the blade stronger. And there's like 20 or so rare blades in the game. So that's 20 or so that you're definitely gonna probably want to complete. I want to. And each rare blade has its own unique quest. Well, if they're not like a story blade like Pyrrha, at least. But all the other rare blades, they all have their own quest. And you have to level up their affinity charts a bit, sometimes a lot, to get those quests. So, I like to do that. But yeah, JRPG. These combat, everybody's gonna be talking constantly. They're all gonna be saying their ability names every time they use them. They're all gonna be talking about random crap. They're gonna be screaming, "I like your attitude!" Lots of JRPG-ness in this game. Tutorials. Tutorials are very strange because they pop up once and then they're basically gone forever. So, if you're anything like me and you only half pay attention to the tutorial, and then you're like, wait, what the hell is this? Like, there's a tutorial you get in like chapter 3 for how to do the chain attacks, which is when you stack orbs on people and then you pop the orbs to get a bunch of damage. But I didn't know what the hell any of that was, so I basically didn't use chain attacks until like chapter 7, when I learned about them in chapter 3. And the only reason I even started to know about them was just because I got so powerful that I could finally do the burst and crap. But yeah, tutorials are very strange. Oh shit, I forgot about something. The, what are they called? Those things. Field checks. Field skills. Field skills are ass. For field skills, okay, each driver can have 3 blades equipped except Tora. Tora can only have 3 poppies. That's it. Tora cannot equip anything that isn't poppy. But yeah, each driver except Tora can have 3 blades equipped. Every blade has its own set of skills. In this game, you need field skills to do optional things. Sometimes you need them to do story-related things. Field skill checks are retarded because you need to have the blade equipped for the field skill to count towards the thing. So let's say you have like 10 electric blades just stored in your little inventory, but you have none of them equipped and you need a level 10 electric mastery to activate this thing. It's not gonna just activate it like it probably should. No, it's gonna be like, no, you have 0 because you didn't equip it. Duh. And then there's times where you do a field check, then you climb a ladder, and there's another field check, which might be something even higher than you thought it should, than the one you just did. And you can't access the menu when you're on a ladder, so you have to jump off the ladder, go back to the menu, make sure you can do both the first one and the second field check. And it's really tedious and annoying. And that leads me to the menus, because all of this revolves around accessing the menus. The menus are shit. It feels like this game really could, like, use a lot of quality of life, especially for the menus, because, dear God, there's so many things that you won't even notice. Like the modifiers. I didn't even know those were modifiers. I thought it was just, oh, wow, that's an attack blade. Of course it gives me strength, haha. Nope. There's some that give you dex, some that give you strength, some that give you luck, some that give you agility, some that give you blah 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 blah. There's trusts. There's so many things in these menus, but you're probably never gonna find them unless you're actively searching for them. And that's nuts. And it feels like navigating the menus just takes forever. Because it's always like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? Are you sure? Huh? Are you sure? Are you absolutely positive that you want to do this thing that you clearly want to do and you've already done it thousands of times before? Are you positive? I don't think you're sure. Please make sure you're sure before you're sure. Thank you. Yes, menus suck. Field skills wouldn't be that bad if they just counted for all your blades, including the ones not equipped. But I guess that'd make it too easy. And another thing with the menus is we are Ursula's new groove, and we'll do what we can. The Merc missions. Alright, Merc missions are these little mini missions that are like, they're like a shitty mobile game. You send your blades on, like you've got all these excess blades. This is why common blades exist, pretty much. So I can understand why this has to exist, but dear God, did they make it awful for some things. But yes, they're little shitty mobile missions, basically. They go by in real time. You can make them shorter by sending the right blades to the right missions. But unless you have a shit ton of blades, it's going to be tougher to do. Yes. Wait. Where was I going with this? Shit ton of blades, tougher to do. Oh, yes. Anyways, there's a lot of them. There's a certain blade that you get from the story. You need to get the Merc missions to level 5 to get his max affinity. To get that to level 5, you need 20,000 Merc points. That's basically every mission in the game. Or, if you're doing my favorite blade, we are, also known as Ursula, for her blade quest. In order to complete her affinity chart and her quest, you need to do approximately 150 Merc missions. Somewhere in that ballpark. Each one at max can take up to 10 minutes to do. That is potentially like 1,500 hours of shitty Merc missions. It is pretty awful. definitely the worst quest in the game. If you do not pull Ursula early game, don't even bother with her quest, because you're never going to finish it unless you're autistic. Hell, I got her decently early, like probably mid-game-ish. I started that shit. I'm still not done with it. It will never end. Every time you send something out on a merc mission, like, I can't just keep sending her on the same, because there's like, you have to keep doing the same exact missions with her. But there's no option to just keep sending the same things to the same mission over and over again automatically. So each time she finishes the mission, I have to go through her saying, "Oh, we did it! Yeah!" Going through the stupid blades, getting more crap for their affinity chart every single time. Sending her on the mission every single time, making sure I find the correct blades for the mission. Hearing her say, "We are Ursula's new groove," every single time I send her out on the mission. And repeating that over and 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 over again. Ursula is literally, like, the worst part of this game. Hands down, fuck Ursula. I hate Ursula. Oh my god, it's so bad. But it's okay, because there's something else that's also shit. RNG loot box blades, woohoo! Alright, so there's core crystals in the game. Each core crystal has a chance of giving you a blade ranging from 1 to 5 stars. 5 stars are the rare blades, they're unique. Common blades are all basically the same looking pieces of shit. Some of them can be decent. 4-star common blades are actually pretty good. But they look like common blades, so that makes them shitty in my opinion. And like I said, common blades basically exist to give merc missions and field checks. Basically exist so common blades have a purpose to exist. Honestly, I'd probably just remove common blades entirely. If blades actually do come back in a Xenoblade 3. Who knows what the hell they're gonna do with that. Yeah, anyway, RNG. RNG, Jesus Christ, I wanna die. Because each time, okay, so rare blades already have a pretty low rate of you getting them. But each time you pull a rare blade, instead of, okay, let me put it this way. Your chances of getting a rare blade are not set into the same percentage for every single one. Each blade has a unique percentage of you obtaining it, from what I can tell. So every time you acquire a rare blade, your chances of getting another one go down. And there is one rare blade in this game that is a huge pain in the ass to get, and is definitely the lowest pull rate. Her name is Cosmos. She is a Xeno Saga person, maybe even Xenogears, I don't know. She's pretty popular. She's the only blade other than Mithra that has the light element in this game. And she's pretty damn good. The problem is you're probably never gonna see her unless you grind for her, or get super fucking lucky. Which, apparently the reason they did this RNG bullshit was so every playthrough would feel unique. When that's retarded, because most of the people who play games like this are garbage min-maxers that want to do everything. So this just makes doing everything even more hellish than it should be. But yeah. Horrible, horrible RNG that gets worse the more you actually get things from it. Terrible. But hey, it's okay, the grind isn't over yet. Let's talk about Tora, the guy who only uses his robo-waifu. Now, in order to make his blade stronger, you have to do this shitty little mini-game called Tiger Tiger. And, oh boy, do you have to do a lot of Tiger Tiger if you want to make Poppy super good. I mean, she's definitely usable without, well, I mean, maybe not without, but if you only do a little bit of Tiger Tiger, you can definitely still use Tora. If you don't do any Tiger though, probably wouldn't use them. But if you do a shit ton of Tiger, whoo boy, your boy Tora is gonna be soloing everything. Like, his third blade is the strongest blade in the game if you're autistic enough to grind for it. There's hands down, nothing is beating his third Poppy. It is hands down, 100%, without a doubt, the best blade in the game. And the thing about Poppy is, if you get the right things, you can make her any element. So that means Poppy's third form is technically another light blade in the game, which everyone who can make her a light blade makes her a light blade. Poppy can also fulfill any role. Well, hold on, no, because okay, I know the second form can definitely be attack and defense. Third form you want to be attack. Like, there's no reason to not make it attack, and it comes as attack. And Poppy Alpha, which is the first one, is like one of the best tanks in the game because you can get up to like a 90-something% block rate, which is disgustingly strong. But even so, with that, the problem with Tora is if you do autistically grind him, you're probably going to have to end up controlling him, because if you do not, he'll just swap blades willy-nilly instead of staying in Poppy's third form and just beating the hell out of everything in 2 hits. But of course, all of that is only possible if you autistically grind Tiger. And when I say autistically, I mean autistically. You're gonna have to spend hours and hours on Tiger if you want to do crazy shit like that. So basically, it's like a little gateway. And I personally think there should have been like an option late game to just use actual money. Not like real life money, but like in-game money. To just buy Poppy parts. And that would have been nice. Help those people that don't want to play Tiger. Alright, now let's get to the mid-game / late-game combat. Now this is when everything's fun, finally. I might have already talked about this. But basically, you've got your driver combos now. For your driver combos, you do usually your teammates do this for you. You got break, then you do topple, then you do launch, then you do smash. When you do those 4 things, in that order, enemies will usually pinata some freaking items for you, which is real neat. And, what else? Yes, this is when your blade combos finally become good, because by the time you get to mid / late game, you should have a bunch of different blade elements. And you should probably at least have enough rare blades to give them to your party members, so they all at least have, like... Your team should probably have at least, like, 6 elements. If you can, try to fit all the elements on your team, but that's not always possible. Or sometimes you just want to use certain blades over other blades. That's what I do. But, yeah, blade combos are weird. I also didn't really fully understand these until, like, Chapter 7, because I'm retarded. But basically, there's 4 levels to your special blade abilities. And only the first 3 matter for the blade combos. So, let's say you lead off your combo with a fire special, a level 1 fire special. From then, you can either chain it with a level 2 water special or a level 2 fire special. And then, if you use the water one, you can use a fire. You have to use a level 3 fire special to finish it off. And then that seals something the enemy can do. Or, if you ended up using the fire one, I think you either have to use another fire or light. One of those two. I don't remember, but that's the general gist of it. And then that will seal a different thing the enemy can do for whichever one you end up doing. So basically, you use a level 1 special, level 2, level 3, and it has to be the next one in this little chain thing, because in the top right of the screen there's like a little thing and it shows you the element you just used, and then on the top right you can either chain it off with that, or in the bottom right you can chain it off with that, and then that should have 2 branching paths, or maybe only 1, and you branch that off, and that's how you finish a blade combo. And if you do blade combos and driver combos at the same time, you do a shit ton of damage. And every time you finish a blade combo, the level 3 special that you use to finish off the combo puts an orb on the enemy. The orb makes their resistance to the element that the orb is higher. But if you stack a bunch of orbs on the enemy, you can use a chain attack, which lets you spam specials at the enemy. And if you break the orbs by either just hitting them with everything, or hitting them with the opposite element, you get to keep hitting the enemy with a bunch of specials. And that's how chain attacks and orbs work. So once you can finally start stacking orbs and just pummeling the enemy, you could usually take an enemy down from like half health to 0 health when you burst a bunch of orbs. And that shit's really cool. So combat later in the game is really neat. I like it. And like I said, you get like, because you have your own abilities for like each blade. Well, they don't all have their own abilities, but each weapon has its own abilities. And you get like, your characters also have their own affinity charts, which you just level up with skill points. And there's ones that let you cancel your own abilities into other abilities, and that increases the damage, and it makes the battles go quicker since you're canceling like the animations of the abilities to chain it into a different ability. And that feels really smooth, and I hope they keep that shit for the next game too, because it really feels nice. But yeah. Then if you min-max, combat is a joke, because like I said, Tora. Oh boy. That man. Literally, I saw this video of Tora just killing a super boss in like a minute by himself. It's disgusting. Tora just... If you min-max, this game becomes a joke. Like an absolute joke. Alright. And the last thing I want to talk about is the voice acting. Is it good? No. No, not really. I wouldn't give it an Emmy. Is it bad? Sometimes, yeah. In the beginning of the game, Rex's voice actor is pretty awful. Pyra/Mithra is also... She just sounds bored half the time. Nia is like the memeiest voice of the cast, because she's just a cat girl that sounds like a 30-year-old Welsh chain smoker, and I love it. Like, when you fast travel, you go there and all of a sudden you just hear, "And we're here." And that's another thing, so they use like Scottish, Welsh, and I believe they use some Irish too. So those are like the 3 main voices you're gonna get from this game. And that really helps it feel unique, which I really enjoy. Now, I can't really judge the Japanese dub at all, because I'm not a fucking weeaboo that plays Japanese games unless they're forcefully Japanese. I prefer my games like my coffee. American. But, yeah. Oh, also, early game, you fight soldiers, and they have the stupidest, memeiest lines in the world, and they're super loud, and obviously this got through playtesting, and they left it there intentionally. So they've basically just become a meme, and I love them. And they even show up, like when you stop fighting them, you get all sad because you're like, oh, now I'm never gonna hear them do the thing again. Then when they just randomly pop up again, you're like, oh man, they're back. Woo, let's go. So that's always something to look forward to. But yeah, I'd say just like the story, the voice acting also gets progressively better as the game goes on. This whole thing is just like a very strange phenomena. It's like as they were making the game, they thought, hey, let's make this, but better. But yeah, I think that's the about the gist of it, without any spoilers. Uh, Overall, I like it. I'd say if you don't like potentially overgrindy JRPGs, you probably won't like it. Hell, if you don't like JRPGs, you'll probably hate the game. Like, entirely. But I do. So I do. So, yeah. Overall, this game's definitely, like... Personally, to me, it's like a 9.2-ish. Objectively, it's probably like an 86 or something. But, yeah. There it is. I hope I fix those black bars. Bye.